Aloha.
Hi!
I'm Brittany.
And I'm Brad.
And we are AudioShelf.
Before we start, make sure to click that red button. Red button down below. Oh, God. Red button down below.
Yeah. And if you like our content, I don't know why, but if you do, consider becoming a patron of ours by signing up with the link down in the description.
All right. What book are we going to review today?
So today, we are doing Into the Hourglass by Emily R. King. And we have to say a huge thank you to Emily and Skyscape for sending us a hard copy of the book. It is such a beautiful cover. We've talked about this a bunch of times.
Yes.
But we love it.
I know. And we're going to also talk about the audiobook version of this book because we purchased that through Audible. And the audiobook narrator is Lauren Ezzo, who is a god.
She is. She really is.
Yes.
She's an angel and a god all wrapped into one.
She's also
burrito.
She's also a whale.
Yeah. Not in an offensive way.
No.
In the book.
In the book. She plays a really good whale.
She voices Dorca the whale,
Mm-hmm.
and she is just phenomenal. If
Yes.
you ever get the chance to listen to a Lauren Ezzo narrated novel, you'll fall in love with her.
Do
just
it.
Immediately.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So some of the other information for the audiobook, the publisher for the audiobook is Brilliance Audio. The release date for the audiobook and the hardcover copy was August 20th, 2019.
Pretty recent.
And the length of the audiobook is 10 hours and 5 minutes.
For 295 pages?
Yep.
Lauren, what are you doing, girl? Because we know usually when it's a short book and it's a long duration of the audiobook that something is going on with the narration, but I think she did great. So we'll get into that.
Yeah. So
You were giving me eyes.
I was like,
You were like, what are you talking about, Lauren? I was like, no, nothing negative. It's just
nothing negative.
sometimes narrators slow down.
Yeah, because the content has a lot of information in it, or there is extra little voices that they want to do, which Lauren put all of that into this book. And so you can kind of tell why she would slow it down a little bit so that everyone could kind of digest what they were listening to.
Exactly. So this book, I think I would categorize this book as young adult, obviously.
100%.
High fantasy.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't even know, like coming of age.
Wow, it's like you have it listed for you. Yeah, definitely high fantasy, coming of age, and young adult. Hands down, the highest of fantasy is in this book.
Yes, the highest. And we're going to get to that in a little bit.
Yeah.
But just know, compared to the first one in the series before The Broken Star, which we've done a review video on, so check it out in our archive videos, lots of high fantasy.
Lots.
A lot more mythical creatures, storylines, and we're going to get to it.
Yeah. So before we jump in, what did you expect from the book before we started reading it?
Mermaids!
Oh, God. Yeah, the mermaid tail on the back of the cover kind of alluded to mermaids.
I was so excited because I loved the first one in the series, and I was excited to hear about the mermaids, which is a mystical creature that I need more books of.
Yeah.
There's a lot of books out there, but I just haven't read many, and I love mermaids. So I was really excited to read about Emily R. King's version of a mermaid, and I also wanted to follow along more with Jameson and Everly, and I was really excited to hear about their love story. That was my expectation of the book.
Yeah, same. I was expecting more underwater adventure than what the first one had, because the first one was all traveling on foot through like a forest
Yes.
area with like trees, and then there was a castle, and then there was like some other cool stuff and fairies. So I was expecting, just based off the cover, water terrain.
Yep. So what did we end up getting?
Mermaids.
Lots of mare people.
Meh.
The mare. They were like the mares, the marrows. And
Yes.
Yes.
Because I kept wanting to call them mer people, but I was like, no, that's not right.
It's very interesting. I love Emily's depiction of the different mystical creatures. We got lots of them. We got mermaids, we got pirates, we got giants, elves.
So many elves.
Pixies.
Yes.
Princesses, kings, and did I say pirates?
I think so.
Yeah. So we had so many, which would have been amazing if the book was more fleshed out.
Mm-hmm.
I think that there was a lot to cover, a lot of worlds to cover, and I really wish each mythical creature could have had a larger development to them.
We kick off the book immediately in action. It was just very fast-paced, very adventurous. There was open water that we were on a boat for. We were like in a whale for. We had a lot of stuff going on the water, and then we entered into the kingdom of the Mare people a little bit later into the book. And it was just, for me, I thought it was described pretty cool, like when we got into the underwater part.
Yeah.
But I can agree that there was a lot of extra creatures that I wish would have like their own novel for.
Yes.
Because they were so cool.
I agree. You won't be bored in this. I will tell you that. You will not be bored in this book. Every chapter has something crazy, dramatic going on. And I think that that's the greatness of Emily R. King, is that she has so much in her mind that she's able to put it on paper and keep you invested into the story, even though sometimes you might say, I don't know if I needed that part or needed that knowledge of that world, or if that knowledge wasn't really explained clearly, but everything is going on so quickly that you're never going to be bored. And I love that about this series.
Yeah, this is like Fantasy Bravo.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of arguments, there's a lot of like figuring things out, mystery uncovering for like some people's marriages. Like there's some interesting stuff going on.
Lots. And in terms of the audiobook,
oh my God,
the emotion that is put into this series, Lauren,
where did you come from?
Literally, girl.
Like, we ask this every single time. Like, every single time we're always shocked that Lauren gave a great narration, and I don't know why.
There's just something about her. She makes me feel like I am the characters arguing with the other characters.
Yeah.
She makes me feel like I am the characters in the love triangle.
Yeah.
Or makes me feel like I am the character eaten by a whale.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh!
It's amazing what she can do with her voice. Her male characters, they do not sound alike at all.
Nope.
She gives each one a personality.
And
her
accents.
Female characters.
Ugh.
The female characters, with the difference between the mermaids and the elves and the fairies. The one fairy, Rodella, she didn't talk, but you can still feel the vibrancy in who she was as a character.
And you knew each character separate from each other.
Yes.
So the fox and the cat and Vavina, they all had different voices.
Yeah.
And so it's like, how do you put that in your head and get it out?
Yeah.
Like, get it out!
Yeah. You knew immediately when Killian came on, who is our villain in this book. Markham, Killian, whatever you
A good villain.
He's a good bad villain.
Yes.
You know, as soon as he came on to the scene, when Lauren would do her Markham voice, you were like, okay, it's time to hate her. Hate her as him, because he's such a bad guy. It's just amazing what a narrator can do. Constantly shocked.
Yes. I also give kudos to Lauren for putting us into the scene. Like you said, we were in the waves. We were in the water. We're on an island. We're hanging out with pirates. I felt there. And that's the best thing about the audiobook, as well as the writing, is the descriptions were pretty good. The
world building is always something that we give so much praise to Emily for, because she can build this world that is just so fantastical. And it's amazing what she can do. But we also said in the first book, I think in the first review, that it felt like this was a really long book that she wrote, and then they split it up into 3 different parts. And so I think that some of that gets lost, some of that world building gets lost in the second book at least. But it's still an amazing thing whenever she sets up a scene for us, like the underwater.
Yes. I'm very excited for book number 3.
Yes.
Book number 3 comes out later this year.
Oh my God.
I think it comes out like maybe October or September. I don't even, I gotta do some
is
research.
This month.
Is it?
Sunday is September.
Where did the year go?
Out the window.
But anyway, the third one is coming out later this year. You need to pick it up. You need to read it and get ready for the finale. The finale!
It's going to be great. Is that going to be the last one?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It's a trilogy. It's a planned trilogy, and it's going to be over.
Chronicles.
I understood that by reading that on the cover. Wait, no, it doesn't?
Well, on the Amazon thing, it says that it's Evermore Chronicles.
Yes, that is the series name.
Yeah.
What does Chronicles mean?
I don't know.
I was like, wait, you make me double think.
So I don't know.
Yes, it's a planned trilogy.
Ooh.
All of them are coming out in 2019.
That's so good.
What a great
thing.
event to experience. All 3 books coming out 1 year. Come on.
Amazing. Nobody gets that. You have to usually wait 4 or 5 years to get all 3 books of a trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Stephanie Meyer milked it. So I think the book met some of our expectations, and then it also just kind of like went under just a tiny bit of what we were expecting, just because I expected to get to the water a little bit faster. But still loved the book a lot. Like, just everything about the book is so cool. Yes. Action-packed, fast-paced. You can listen to Lauren, like I did, at 2 speed.
Oh, that's fast.
But it's not with Lauren's narration, because Lauren has this great way of like making her voice slower when she is just reading at 1 speed, and then when you take it up to 2 speed, it's the same but just a tiny bit faster. You never feel overwhelmed with her voice at all.
Yeah, and I think that's why the audiobook was so long, because she puts so much energy and emotion into the narration that you can do things like speed it up and still get the same effect.
Yes, it was phenomenal. Totally recommend.
So I think we covered this book pretty nicely.
And I'm definitely going to shelf it. I'm going to put it on my shelf.
Let's shelf it together.
Okay.
I'm going to shelf it.
So I'm definitely going to shelf Into the Hourglass. What about you?
I'm going to shelf it too.
All right, let's shelf it together.
Let's do it.
So thank you again so much to Emily R. King and Skyscape for sending us a copy of Into the Hourglass. We appreciate it so much. And also, if you want to follow along with us on all of our various audiobook, physical book, and discussion topics, feel free to follow us on Twitter at AudioShelfMe, Instagram at AudioShelfMe, and Facebook at AudioShelf. And if you want to become a Patron member, please find the link below and sign up to be in that community.
And please subscribe to us by clicking that red button down below.
We're not desperate. We're just desperate.
Until next time, bye.